Okay, so quickly, if it's okay, once again, explicit. This is about the dog food thing that happened 20 years ago, right? About 25 years ago now. I saw limited names, of course, because I don't want to get things heated. I'm praying for peace. I hope and I would hope that everyone else that is, let's say, enlightened or married gets that, right? Because there are, they could the mistake of bad marriage. That's a sad one. That's dark time to the church, which still could be that, or I could just be the dark one. So that's really scary. Um, that's a very frightening thought. And your own family and friends, they don't, they're against you, which makes no sense in lots of ways because why would they even care? You got to think of that. Yeah, why are you involved? Like, yeah, exactly. If you really don't. So let's hope that's not the case. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I guess maybe, and it would be beautiful, really beautiful, if that's how we all the ultimate circle, right? Well, just a bit of a circle, how we all help each other at the end of the day. That's kind of where the circle of Dunbar's the 150, people that you know, it closes, and really a pocket heaven, right? Closes off. But then I think of, my cousin Anthony, and that's a first cousin, but died very young. But great grandfather though, right? Which is amazing. So you're getting called the great grandfather, at 50. That's quite a record too. Just think, I'm sorry to kick this around. I hope I'm not getting anybody in trouble. Uncle Mike was a great grandpa, maybe almost a great grandma Carol. You're a great grandma, yeah, right. He was a great grandfather. And then my grandpa Angelo, he didn't even get to see the kids. So that's really sad, in my opinion. As I also have a bat, I want to show one of my cousins there that I really looked up to a lot. I really did. Started a lot of this crap. So this is rather deep too. And then my dad, who got to be a grandfather, thank God, right? But, the last thing I said to him, stuff like that. So, whoa. And then he was gone. Unless he knew, among other really, hard to talk about conversations that I would like to only share with, my mate, really a secret person that ordained by God, my wife, really, yeah. And I could trickle down from there as, as my queen, right? And that's it. So let me kneel really quick there because that's what that's about. And then, but it all, I'm replacing thoughts in my brain as that's how crazy it is. And it's the Holy Spirit too, in my opinion, because it's like some of these things I don't even know really, for the most part. Like I didn't know, Grandpa Judice. I would always say Grandpa Angelo. Grandpa Judice. I didn't know his middle name was Vincent. I mean, maybe I've heard people would tell me, right? And what did I care? I remember as a kid, my mom would tell me these things, and I would try to care because I knew it was vital. It sunk somewhere in my brain. It must be important. It was a great grandfather that I don't even see anymore. He was in the war and this and that, Army intelligence, my grandmother would say. Yeah, so then I think of Poppy. Poppy got shot. I'm laughing. I'm sorry, but it's beautiful. Yeah, he was shot, yeah, in the back, let's say. But that's just a very, I don't know what really happened, but it's very lucky, I would say, right? And he must have been fast. He was strong. He's tall, dark and handsome. Wow. In my opinion, I always really admired him. So I'm glad I'm talking about this now. I feel good vibes, actually. And then, once again, that incident with dog food, which probably, set this whole thing into motion, really, because they knew what was going on, I guess. And my dad started bringing it up around maybe puberty, a little after puberty. And he said, I hope I'm not getting this person in trouble. I ultimately think it's for the greater good. I would hope, because everyone makes mistakes. The biggest thing that I didn't like about this person that they probably said to me when I was younger is never get married. And it's interesting because I hated that. I was like, he totally blew my mind with that remark. And once again, I hope that this isn't gets anyone in trouble or a fight. There's always that premonition of bad things happening, which is ultimately why we have law enforcement to listen to these things, pick out situations, see who's hostile, Facebook and everything, which is really the iPhone. Probably it's almost like a God device. At least it's, in my opinion, it's almost like antiquity of technology right now. Oh, my dad would say that a lot right before he died on the couch. He would say, you can't talk about things like this It's the way you say it, you know. He said you can't, you know, they're gonna lock you up and throw away the key. And I mean, but then again, it could be the ultimate reverse psychology, you know. It's like, all right, are you gonna? Could you even fight your dad? That was a rough one to swallow there. So, and it's the same idea with never get married from his close friend, right? That, you know, they may have went at it. I mean, you would imagine, what, you guys are friends, really, you know. You shouldn't be doing this. You're partying. You're all trying to kill each other at the end of the day. But war, at the end of the day, when you're just fucking tired of fighting, I guess, and you would come to the enlightenment of, okay, I have fucking nothing left, which is, you know, the Christ mindset, right? It's just, okay, this is it. I have fucking nothing, you know. Yeah, I have given you every fucking thought, you know, everything. Yeah, as far as I hope I can, as I kneel down and grovel at your feet now, Lord. The world, really, yeah, it's crazy. So, wow, I love you, Dad, and this person as well, who was obviously a huge influence in my life. I've known him and his wonderful, beautiful wife since I was born, right? And that goes for all of them, the whole crew there. Which they're just incredible. This is a legendary piece of equipment, and it'd be nice to just pull it down one more time. Yeah, I can't get it to work. Holy cow. What were they thinking? Like, and the wiring in it, too, is like wild. So, imagine who comes to mind there, right? I gotta get the bat, too, as I look around. So, yeah, and then I assumed by the real boy toy shirt, we knew we were going. Or at least I was a big problem, and I hope among some of my greatest probably the greatest nightmares of all time, right? What you truly hope, you know, and they are nightmares, you know, because it's just what a horrible thought to think that they are not, right? Yeah, what a nightmare! That's the, you know, pretty much the ultimate nightmare for a woman, yeah, and vice versa for a man. You could tack that on from there. And then you put solitary confinement on fire as a spectacle as the second worst thing to ending the world, which is Sephiroth. Yeah. So, and you don't want that because, so what's the next best thing? It's a nightmare. Forget about it. That's forgiving and forgetting, which is the Christ again at the end of the day. Didn't happen. And that's sometimes you just forget. Maybe, you know, but you don't even want to think that horrible. But I mean, what else, you know, do you want to be Sephiroth, right? So, again, on the dog food, I keep beating around the bush. I, you know, assumed I was praying, you know, to be straight, really, because all my friends are talking about sex, and I'm like, well, I don't feel right. And then I would look at porn, you know, and it still wasn't feeling right the whole time for years and years and years until I was about 20, and then, you know, I could go to the journey of the rainbow from there, ultimately to getting down on my knees and groveling at the mercy of the Lord and exploring my mind to the point where I can't keep going anymore. That's just every day it's one of these things, and hopefully, you know, it ends up being easier to handle from now on. You know, as I see through all the pictures, my life could flash before my eyes in that sense because it could be so awesome. You know, it's already been about a year since that my dad. Maybe not that fast, but yeah, they say it goes by really fast, which is scary. You know, sometimes the learning process. I don't want to live really if I lose her again. I'm being serious. I remember telling my mom I used to be somebody. I was saying, there were so many little instances with this little beautiful woman. Well, not little, no. It's so powerful. It was really that was. So I'm wondering if they always knew. You know, of course they had ideas because I'm right. I am on the right track here. So. I did want to give this to somebody. I hope they have a boy. I could have sworn there is a boy. I can't remember. I didn't look. I didn't want to look because I was afraid. You know, and one of the biggest things with that is I didn't like calling him Skippy. I thought Vinny was a nicer name. It's such a beautiful name, Vincent. What a nice name. Yeah. So, and I was thinking of giving this to, well, you know, of course, Steven comes to mind, right? But it's a wooden bat made of wood. It was different. It's like almost from a better graded tree, and you could imagine, like, I don't know, it's old, it's age, it's a wooden little stickball bat. This was it, you know. You made your own fucking stickball bat, right? I don't know. It's just amazing. The Holy Spirit is in it. I really, you know, I would love this person to have it and give it to his son. But then I think consider, you know, Stephen, or if there was ever hope for me, you know, which I assume there is now, so I don't think he would take it at this point the way I feel. But I would love to actually show it to him. Yeah. So a huge inspiration in my life that I always strongly looked up. He was big and strong and smart compared to me. I mean, and older too. So how could you not? And yeah, that was I was I was desperate for help. But that was the best way to do it. And now it's just it seems that maybe if you want to look at it like that, maybe I figured it out. I hope at least it's and once again back on the dog food thing. And same thing to this man as well and his family. You never want it's horrible to be on that journey and you're getting nothing. Like if you've recorded what I've looked at and saw me at my lowest, jail comes to mind. Something I told one of my cousins. I had to. It was horrible. My mom was with her in the jail. It was just horrible. I couldn't take them. And of course the nightmares could get worse from there. So sometimes they're best not talked about. Anyway, long story short, if anybody knows my story, I seem to have overcome that, and I wouldn't say that I'm alone totally in this, but that one thing had me rather bad over most people, perhaps due to the blue Dabba Dee, great track, huh? Due to the Real Boy Toy shirt and the Star McCoy stuff, right? So, long story short, once again, my dad said someone, so I'm not going to say their name, but of course he knows, and I hope he had good intentions, right? Because maybe he was trying to man us up, and that's what men do a lot, too. I remember pushing Steven a little too hard one day, and I stopped myself back. I was at L&B, Simone Gardens, actually. Good thing everyone saw it, too, And that's too much, you have to have the middle ground, which is what I learned from finding my way back to boxing, which was a really big gym, Nick Catone's UFC, Nick Catone's Mixed Martial Arts and Fitness, right? I mean, you would hope the parents knew I wanted a boxing bag. Now you have to fight them to get it, and that's all that matters. That is Lion King psychology at the end of the day. And I could relate this. That's what I could call this too, and the dog food too. Simba is roaring to people he knows, to his family. Scar is his uncle. Scar's another family. What the fuck are you doing here, kid? Your dad is dead now. Go be king. This is my kingdom. Though dark it may look to you. I could end the video there too. So the dog food, it was just possibly illogic on all angles. These kids got to man up, or he's got to man up, or I need help, but that's why you really shouldn't ask for help from your friends there, which is the ultimate lesson, which Templars they may be even, or all of us, well, sure, maybe that's the ultimate lesson too. They'll know we are all Christians by our love, perhaps, right? It's just, and also on that note, once again, I don't think that was her. I thought, whatever I told her is the truth. And if that even was the case, with this other friend that I was with in the car, we were high, we were stoned, and I didn't want to do it. I was afraid of the way I felt about this friend too, so I wanted to man up. That explains the shit too. There's some. I'm sorry I said shit. Yeah, the Sopranos thing. I can man up by being disgusting, right? Yeah. I look at this porn because I don't want to look at that porn. I'm trying. Yeah, and then it's and you would assume as some people can assume, however, it's just all to be in love and be married with one woman, and ultimately, hopefully I'm right, have correct consensual sex.